job in New York.
Second
Miss
grade
Figment.
what? Substitute teacher or?
Oh, no.
You're the real thing.
At an all-boys school on the Upper East Side.
What
I was
subject?
an assistant teacher. All subjects. They were 7.
Oh, right, is it? Yeah.
Except like their math started getting too hard for me. I was like 3rd grade math in New York private schools is apparently where I quit. Yes.
Alright, so I really love the Roma music video. What was your whole take on Mexico City and doing it there?
Somebody? I mean, we had a concept for that video, and then we had a press conference scheduled in Mexico City, and then it just kind of working with a great director like Gerardo and just everybody involved, like Undercard is a design company we've been working with who were in charge of the press conference. It just sort of, we kind of said, why don't we morph these two ideas together, and everyone involved was on board with that, so it became this Rover concept video set in Mexico City, and then let's use the press conference for the video, and then it just kind of went from there. Yeah.
And it was just really, we like Mexico City. Yeah. We have a very good audience down there. So, that part was fun.
I've seen you guys there.
You have?
Yeah.
Where at?
Corona Music Festival.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was the Pixies.
Yeah.
That was fun, right?
Yeah.
So I guess God willing, no more motorcycle accidents.
Exactly.
Between this album and the next album, do you guys think you'll release singles or do collaborations like you have with like the RZA and Florence and stuff?
I mean, I think there's some music that was recorded and not on the record, as Daniel mentioned. So I mean, there's some. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to come next, but could be some more Interpol between now and the next Interpol.
Good clarification.
My question is specifically about New York City. Is there a place that you're most excited to go to whenever you return?
In the city?
In the city.
You got one? Yeah.
A restaurant, a block, a store.
That's a good question.
It's a really good question.
I mean, I have those, but I think they're kind of like, I think any person who travels a lot or is in a band has that for every city. You know, after you've been away, there's that local place you want to go to, that coffee spot or whatever. So I have them, but I'm going to keep them.
Well, yes, they do exist. I'll tell you later.
Sample out everybody. Yes. Yeah.
Do you notice that New York City has a weird buzz to it? Like, I've been around, like, Ireland and stuff like that, but, like, there's so much energy, and, like, you feel like you can do anything.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's true. There is. It's almost palpable sometimes.
No, I think a buzz is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's a really special energy at all times in this city. I mean, it's small, so densely populated, and just sort of people from all around the world at the pinnacle of whatever industry are kind of here. So it's a fascinating place.
Yeah. You're so annoyed with me.
For a South American tour, I think Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, Argentina.
Colombia.
So Ecuador.
Do we have a plan to go there?
Yeah.
I think we're thinking about things and discussing and so forth, and to go to South America. So I think we'll have something soon. But
We love South America.
we love South America. That's for sure.
Yeah, ole!
These guys are in Philadelphia. That's where you got that shirt, right?
Yeah!
It's a Rocky t-shirt.
Not ASAP. That's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
So how difficult has it been to kind of stick to the red and black aesthetic throughout all the albums? And kind of what inspired that from the outset?
The red and black aesthetic from, like, in the album artwork,
Yeah,
or?
album artwork, yeah.
Well, Our Love to Admire has the animals.
Yeah, that is the kind of the idea.
And album 4 doesn't have the red.
Yeah.
And water is blue and not black. But I mean,
Clearly you're wrong.
but I don't know. I think we have a lot of fun with the design, and I think it's good to have themes and good to have a thread. But it's also really fun just to try new things. And I think we've done that.
Yeah, I think it's so great in terms of how you've always kept the aesthetic of the band. It's always been the cinematic kind of thing. And from like I was at the show last night, and it's the first time I saw you live. It's great to see the outfits on stage and how that kind of plays into the album artwork and how the album artwork plays into the music video. So hats off to you for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you.
So you said when originally we were recording, you said just like sing audio, you don't really have like the words in. So how is that like when you do start writing the lyrics? Do you find it like restrains, like if you already have the rhythm, you already have the beat, do you find it like it makes it more difficult for like the lyrics that like fit where you're writing down?
I know what you're getting at. Like, is it because you got to force meaning into like a framework that's already there, just like in terms of syllables and stuff. But what I've found is that in the same way with kind of formulaic poetry or like sonnets and haiku, not so much haikus, but I remember like thinking in college, like there's a certain type of sonnet that I think John Donne is a good author of, or even Shakespeare, right, where there's like a limitations and like a limitation of the form, but I remember kind of feeling like, holy shit, I feel like meaning sometimes springs out of those limitations in an almost magical way, where like instead of it being a limit to what you can express, the parameters somehow enhance what you can express. And that's sort of what I find with the lyric writing. It's kind of just coming from somewhere organic, and so yeah, it's an interesting process.
Yes.
Okay. Who else are you listening to? Like, who inspires you? Who do you guys enjoy listening to?
Probably lots of different answers to that one.
Artists. Yeah. Curious.
A$AP Rocky.
I'm still stuck on David Bowie.
Hi, Daniel.
I don't know, who influences is just too vast to answer, but I heard that Kazoo from Blonde Redhead made a very beautiful solo record that's not out yet, and she passed it on to me, and I've been listening to that a lot. It's lovely.
Yes.
The beats in the record, it sounds like if you really love nothing, I think they're quite different from anything I've heard before in your songs. Where does the inspiration for the drumming come from?
That was listening to like a lot of Motown and like Stax stuff. In particular, an Otis Redding record. I can't think at the top of my head what it is, and it wouldn't matter. Like the beauty of all his lyrics and melodies. Like I didn't even get to that because this drummer, whoever it was, like, rearranged my whole opinion of drumming, and what he was doing was so simplistic, and yet it was only he could do it. And it's really bad I don't know this gentleman's name, but I couldn't even get that far. It was just kind of, and that just led to other things, and I just intentionally went out of my John Bonham sphere, the old stalwarts of drumming, and just went down other avenues. And even listening to Control, Janet Jackson, like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, what they did with the drum machine was sick. It's like some of the best drumming that a drummer didn't play. So it's kind of just mixing that in and really hoping that I can insert that into what we were doing. And I guess we're still a band, or I guess it's no sense that we're still, no surprise, because it worked out. What I was thinking 1,000 miles away, not knowing what I was going to hear in a week or two, revealed itself. Things like the Rover, Complications, If You Really Love Nothing, like you said, and I was able to kind of just pull from that a little bank of inspiration. You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's do two more. Okay. Yeah, you've been waiting for like 100 years.
Okay, so I'm really heartbroken that you're doing such a big venue like MSG, but you will see me. I will drive out there to see you. But I was wondering, are you guys doing a smaller venue in New York other than MSG?
House of Bands.
In the past.
Union Concert,
Anything going forward?
I don't know.
Next year?
I think MSG is just the next show in New York. I don't know if there's anything else.
Well,
to
just
play.
like putting it out there.
Our managers are here. Did you?
Yeah.
You guys?
They're taking notes.
They have comments boxes up there.
or maybe like right now.
Oh my God.
Okay, hold on.
Something I
Yeah, you.
I got you.
Hi, I was wondering if at any point does any of this ever feel like a normal job, or are you still sort of like blown away every day that this is what you do in your life? Getting deep.
I think I'm kind of blown away every day that this is. Yeah, I think even more, the more we do it, the more, I don't know, the more I feel that way. I think, like after Bright Lights came out, it never got further than thinking about just hoping to make a record and put it out there. Never thought there'd be an audience or didn't anticipate anything like that. So the fact that we're on our 6th record up here right now and doing this kind of stuff, to me, it is mind blowing, and it's like every time we play shows now, it's actually so mind blowing in that sense. I don't describe it, but it's something I feel very fortunate and privileged to get to do, and it means more to me now than it ever has, and I really enjoy it so much. So it's it's a crazy thing.
I would second that. It's very humbling.
Yeah, that's what
You know, it is like it could, on one hand, you know, you could let it get to your ego, and that would be a shame because you really wouldn't be taking in what's happening. You'd be expecting it, but to be doing this is like, you know, we'll walk away and go, did we really just do that? That's really fucking cool. That's just it. I mean, we're pretty. And it's not lost on us. I think we're pretty fortunate.
Yeah, and people often say, like, do you get tired of playing the old songs? And I always kind of feel like, no, I don't even understand what that would be like. I feel like it's still always, you know, yeah, it's a very meaningful thing still.
Thank you.
I think that's
Lizzie,
all. Yeah.
Lizzie, this woman is very patient.
Oh, good. Yeah. Anyone you guys, I mean, this is your show. Go ahead.
Population, I'm nervous. I get nervous. Time's ticking, about time. Usually it's such a whirlwind. Anyways, can you just record with the any of them you like? I don't care.
Which ones?
Yeah,
What
do you have any
are we talking about here?
Well, I have a bunch. Do you want me to start naming? I'm not going to sit here and say.
No, just give us
an example.
All right, so Roger Waters, definitely. And I feel like you guys could definitely.
Oh, okay.
Work your way up there.
He hasn't called.
Oh, okay.
That's why I got a million friends in call would say.
He's probably got like a million friends, exactly.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay, you're
one
saying
more.
record with some of those like Roger Waters type, that generation of while there's time. That's what you're asking. I mean, that's
Okay,
right. It's interesting.
Will you call Jimmy Page and tell him this is very interested?
John Greenwood, my Polish.
He's not a baby boomer.
Stick to your point. Get a theme.
Johnny Greenwood and a bag of mushrooms.
Neil Young.
All right.
Neil Young.
So much more. You just, please, don't stop. You just changed my life in ways, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You just
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Can't top that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a mic drop right there. No question. I mean, we don't have any more time, so I think that might be it.
Thanks so much, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.